Hey, what is going on? Welcome to Beautiful Star Podcast. And it's early in the morning, in the AM. I don't know if you guys are listening to this uh live or on the replay, but I'm gonna get into today's topic, more so talking about being powerful, right, versus feeling powerless, right? And I noticed that there's a lot of people out there that's walking around feeling powerless, like they have no control over what's going on in their own life, like they can't change their circumstances. So a lot of people are walking around uh feeling like that, and because they feel like that, every choice that they make is going to uh be a result of that, you know. So with this thing of feeling powerless, right, you have to be able to move yourself to a place where you're feeling powerful. Now, people who feel powerful, right, or in that frequency, or uh, they feel as though that they could change their life, right? They're not a product of the circumstances that are going on in their life. They really understand, like, oh, okay, this happened to me, but I don't have to allow this very thing to be the thing that prevents me from giving my fullest potential, like showing up as my greatest, right? They understand that, right? Because you went through a traumatic just because you had a traumatic past, right? Because a lot of us are coming out of relationships that are that was abusive, right? Or your partner was controlling, like whatever it is, right? Coming, just starting over, right? Getting out of a relationship, to me, in my mind, I feel like that's ultimately like, you starting over, you know, and you have to be in that mindset of like, okay, things were the way they was before, but they are no longer like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you go into a relationship single, you know, and time you get out of that, it's like, okay, you done became very clingy to this person, or just forgot how it felt to be like an individual, or making choices on your own, and feeling good about yourself without being in a relationship. Because nowadays, right, when you reach a certain age, it's like people always want to attack you, for at least women. All right, I'm just speaking from that perspective. Like, people want to attack you for not being in a relationship, or not working on something in that reference, right? But at the end of the day, who cares about all that stuff, right? Like, who really, like, at the end of the day, if that's what you individually want for yourself, then hey, it is what it is. But if it's not what you want for yourself, and you see yourself like aspiring to this, or like allowing yourself to become a part of this belief system, or this idea that wasn't even yours in the start, then you have to uh think about the power that you really have in your life, right? Because if you are easily influenced, if someone could come in and easily influence you, right? Even getting out of a relationship, like getting out of a relationship, all right, it shouldn't take that long to get over if you didn't lose yourself within that relationship. I just feel like when things are become so difficult and challenging for somebody to get over a relationship or a situation, it's because they allow their identity to get intertwined with the relationship, and that's just not what it is. You feel what I'm saying? You know, once the relationship is over, you should just bounce back to being who you are. But because a lot of people identity is a product of the relationships and interactions that they have with other people, and they power don't even lie within themselves. It relies in these relationships. And I know some of you guys are gonna be like, "Oh, what would you?" Listen, that's another topic for another day. But um, I have to definitely uh put that out there because that's just what it is, right? If you think it's the other, hey, there's a comment section below. Let me know what you think. People out there, they always put out what they feel or whatever. But I just honestly feel like, being powerful in your life is definitely being able to create some solutions for the problems and issues uh, that you have, right? Creating a solution for where you are in your life now, uh, getting to the root of your problems, dealing with yourself pretty much, you know. Um, a lot of people are not in that state of where they're ready to deal with their problems and issues or even admit that they have problems and issues because people are walking around and they have all this stuff going on and they just be very, ignorant to the fact or allow themselves to be ignorant to what it is that they going through. They just, put it to the back burner like, oh, okay, I'm not going to deal with this, right? You don't have to deal with your problems, right? It will uh come out if you say like you don't have to deal with it. It's just going to come out on its own when it's going to come out. When people hold stuff in for a long time, then it just come out. It doesn't even matter like the uh whatever it is that you're doing, in that present moment, right? It could come out as a behavior. Like, how you see some people who got problems and issues and they start acting out or doing things out of their character, speaking and speaking in a way that you don't even know them to speak, or acting out or doing things that are not beneficial uh, for them, right? I know you've seen people who act out in like crazy ways, right? Because it's like sometimes when people are going through things, it's like they don't want to deal with it, but then they'll come up later and it'll disrupt whatever it is that people have going on. Like if you have something going on and you have an underlying problem that you ain't deal with and it just creep up on you, it manifests itself during a time that you wasn't even ready for it to come out, right? But ultimately, if you always having check-ins with yourself and always dealing with yourself, then you know on all levels what it is that you're dealing with, what it is that you're going through, and there's certain things that we do have to control and that we do have to bring certain awareness to with the issues and problems um that we face. And this is on different levels because a lot of times people want to feel like life is perfect, everything is uh black and white, as you can see, like everything is it's either this or it's either that. But sometimes you got the in between things, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just dealing with things like when you go on social media and stuff like that, right? People put out there what they want you to know. And a lot of times people are putting out things that are uh positive. Like they want you to see the positive things that are going on in their life. Such as when someone, gets married or have a child or start a new job or going on a vacation trip, or, you know, different milestones that, their children are having that are great, people like to put those things out there, but a lot of times like the negative things that are going on in people's life, a lot of times people don't put that stuff out there because they feel as though that they're going to be judged, or they're going to feel as though that they're going to lose their power, or they're going to be forever viewed as a victim. For whatever reason, some people don't even care. They're gonna let you know the good things that are going on in their life, as well as the bad things that are going on in their life, and they just don't give a damn as to what other people are thinking about them in this present moment, right? Because at the end of the day, it's like where you are in your moment, that's what you should be embracing, right? And accepting where you are in this present moment, right? And where you are, if that's not where you want to be at, then it's certain things that you have to do to push yourself into a place of where you want to be, right? Because a lot of times, you know, people like to complain about their circumstances and where they are in life, and whether they like it or whether they don't like it, but not really thinking of the fact that, in this present moment, what I'm doing is creating my future, is creating what I will be, and a lot of people don't see it that way. They don't see it like that, you know, right? You become powerful when you um connect this stuff in terms of like the decisions and choices that you're making in this present moment is dictating which direction your life is going to, go in, or it dictates the path that you're on. You know, a lot of times when you think of where we at now in life, right? Where we at now is a product of the choices and things that we have decided. You feel me? In these past months, you know, that's why when you see people like, they be going hard like winter, spring, you know. Let's go back, right? You got fall, winter, spring, right? All those seasons, you feel me? Someone did what it is that they had to do in the gym. They went on hard, working out. They set a schedule for themselves, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna work out in the morning, I'm gonna work out in the afternoon, I'm gonna work out in the evening, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And they stay consistent. So time the summer come, you gonna see that summer body. You're gonna see everything that they put out there, you know, in terms of the personal choices and decisions that they made on their own. You will be able to physically see it, right? Because in the wintertime, if someone is like totally big, you know, they not boiling on a budget. They eating whatever it is that they want to eat, During that time, uh, if a person is eating, you know, overeating, sleeping, not doing nothing, you're gonna see that versus someone who spend a lot of their time in the gym. Like, yo, They wake up, they got a plan for whatever it is that they want their day to go out, their day to be, right? Because at the end of the day, it really boils down to, like, your plan and your scheduling and you know the time that you do, right? I mean, what you do with your time, right? So if you have someone who utilize their time in working out and to pursue a certain body type, or to lose some weight, or to build up energy, because people go to the gym for different reasons. But if you have someone who, like, yo, I'm about to get it, I'm about to go in, I'm gonna do what it is that I need to do, then that's what it is. You're gonna see those results, especially if the person was consistent and they didn't stop. Like, yo, I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep working out no matter how I feel. 'Cause everyone knows that feeling. Whoever been to the, whoever said to themselves, like, yo, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. Everyone done went through that state. Like, the beginning of the year is a prime example of, people who say, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna push myself, and I'm gonna motivate myself. Even I do it. I do it often, right? But for those people who actually stay consistent and been consistent with what it is that they said they wanted to do, who constantly, no matter how they felt when that day came for them to work out, or when that day came for them to choose certain foods, because working out and eating healthy it goes hand in hand. There's no ifs, ands, like, it goes hand in hand, you know. So, but when you see the results of someone who actually put in that work and did what they needed to do, that kind of, like, motivates you. Like, at least that's what I want to say. Like, if you see someone who got the results uh, that they wanted and that they actually worked towards, it's kind of, I'm not gonna front. It's a kind of like a powerful feeling. It's kind of like, it makes you feel like, yo, whatever it is that I want to do, I know that I could do. If I be consistent and keep pushing myself, then I can have those same results too. The results that I ultimately wanted. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have someone out there who they utilizing their time to do the things that they want, and they getting the results, that's a motivator right there. Let me drink some water. I don't know how you guys see it, but that's how I see it. But in our own lives, right? We could be that within our own lives, like, become powerful in our own lives, right? It's just a matter of uh being active, being proactive, allowing action, uh allowing yourself to be uh proactive in your life, or to, like, just to be active, right? Because a lot of times people are waking up, they ain't doing nothing, ain't nothing popping, you know. They not going to school, They're not coming up with any, they're not even trying to master their day. They don't have a business, they're not working, they're not in school, they're not reading books, they're not doing nothing, right? There's some people out there that don't do absolutely nothing. And it is what it is. That's a choice that, a person made. But with a person that made that choice of not to do anything, you should not allow that person to make you feel any difference from doing something with your life by pushing yourself. That person shouldn't have no effect on you. What it is that you have to do with your life. You shouldn't allow that to uh, to impact you. You should be have the certain willpower or have the make decisions that isn't that's conducive to the type of lifestyle that you want to live in this present moment, or that you want your life to be in a direction of. That's the things that you need to be focusing on in this present moment. Because a lot of times people feel as though that you're not supposed to grow and you're not supposed to learn. And with learning, like with you learning things, that should always challenge what you're actually doing, or like, you know what I'm saying? Because if you're learning things, that means that with 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 the things that you're learning, uh, you should be able to change your behavior in terms of like with knowledge, with the things that we learn. We should be applying the things that we feel as though are going to change our lives, or change, the behavior that's giving a result that we no longer want. You know, that's just like if one of you guys go to a coaching session and, some information is given to you. And it's like you can either apply that new information, you know, or not. And I just feel like, with living our lives, you don't stop learning once you reach a certain age. That's just like a misconception. Like a lot of people feel like, oh yeah, once you reach a certain age, there's some things that you should, just know off the rip, right? But that's not always true, because some people be stuck in a mindset that leaves them powerless. Some people have like a loop, where they just thinking in a certain pattern. Right? That's a whole nother topic for a whole another another show, right? Like it could get real deep with it. I've learned this as I've, gotten older and experienced life, right? Is perception. Like a lot of times is your perception, right? But then it could have a little bit like your mindset, the things that you've learned, the level that you're actually on, like because it's all about different levels of consciousness, it's just levels of being, you know, um, And but a lot of times it trickles down to your mindset, right? And some people are just in a powerless state. They just are in a powerless state where they feel like they can't control their lives or do anything, with their lives based off of the things that they've experienced, with other people, um, their interactions, um, with people, and so some people feel stuck because it's like I was drinking something. Let me drink some more. I know I'll be quiet for a long while. This is the live, like it's crazy how I'm live right now. Like, yo, I'm gonna actually start going live when you guys see my face. Like, you know, I really want to be like on a beach with the water, like that's what I really want. I want to go live on the beach. That's what I want to do. How many of you guys out there want to go live on the beach, especially when it's like one of those days where it's just like, oh, it's it's hot as hell, and you go to the beach, get that little breeze from the water, even though it's hot breeze. Y'all ever had that hot breeze? It's like, oh, it's a breeze coming, but it's nothing but hot air being blown. Like you standing behind a bus for all those for all that's public transportation. People who use public transportation, you know that feeling when you waiting and you stand behind a bus and it's just all that heat. I was on a Greyhound bus. Let me tell you, as soon as I went like down to where it was time to board the bus, and I was standing behind like a bus, it was just like all this heat. You talking about the Greyhound bus? Oh my God, that's just like crazy. The best thing to travel is the airplanes. I like traveling airplanes, but sometimes you do like the Greyhound bus when you trying to save a little bit of money, you know what I'm saying? Saving a little bit, And you're not really traveling far, Sure. Because if you're traveling far, you want to definitely take the train or the plane, but it is what it is. But yeah, with that bus situation, I done said all. I'm talking about the Greyhound bus. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, but like this powerless feeling, um, I just honestly believe that um, we should be doing things that are going to put us in a place where we feel powerful, or where we are operating from a level where we are making decisions that are going to ultimately change our lives for the better, you know? And that's what it ultimately, boils down to, because some people are in relationships that are chaotic, toxic, that are abusive. And this person is literally leading you nowhere. Like leading you nowhere. I don't want to say, oh, imagine being in a relationship with someone who don't give a damn about you and you know it, right? Because you know that feeling of being in a relationship with someone who cares about you. You should know that feeling when someone genuinely cares about you versus someone who don't give a damn about you. who don't care. And they not even trying to hide it. And they treat you like nothing, like a bottom feeder, like nothing, like you ain't ish, you know? And some people are allowing themselves to stay in situations like that because that's all they know. If that's all you know, that's all you know, then you need to learn something else. Then you need to, put yourself in a position where you are learning something else, right? Because fear is a tactic. Fear that make you feel like, oh, you ain't gonna be nothing without me. You're nothing. You ain't ish. You're not gonna make it without me. That's a lie. You know, people who tell other people that, like, oh, you're not gonna make it without me. You ain't gonna be nothing. That's a lie. That's a lie. You know how many lies people tell? It's lies. All the things, you know, that we're capable of learning, right? That we're capable of doing on our own, you know. A lot of times people are, fixated on the money and stuff, right? Yeah, money is good. It is good to have money, right? But once you have like enough money, a lot of money, it's like, what else? Once your basic needs and stuff is met, like beyond measure, like you mean to tell me you have all this stuff, like all these clothes, you got all these clothes, all this food, more than enough food, shoes, a house, you know, everything's running in that house. Like all your basic needs is being met. Being fed, you're being clothed, sheltered. Um, what else is there to do? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, what else can you do? Right? With your money. Right? It's some women out there that be well off before they even enter certain relationships. They have everything going for themselves. They have their own career, business, job, high paying job, or whatever. Low paying, high paying, it's no discrimination here. You feel what I'm saying? Because we lost a lot in relationships. I'm not even. I'm like, when you being reflective, like especially with me, like when I reflect on certain things that I have experienced, I'm like, well, damn, I lost a lot, but at the same time, with me wanting to grow, wanting to, learn about myself and really putting myself in a place where I'm no longer a victim. I don't see myself as a victim. What's the point of seeing yourself as a victim, right? Because a lot of times people go into this place where they see themselves as a victim. And so when you see yourself as a victim, you ultimately put yourself in a place where you're powerless. Like, you know, victims are in a place of mourning. They sad. They feel like they can't really change nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, no. Put yourself in a place where you can change something. You can change how you feel. You could change how you perceive things or see things. You could change yourself on multiple levels. You know what I'm saying? Multiple positions in your life. You don't have to be stuck in a place where you can't change your life. And I mean like change your life in a physical manner, like where you could actually see the physical changes. Like if you don't want to live in a certain neighborhood and you want to live in another neighborhood and you made that happen, like that type of change, like you will physically see it, you know, you would make it happen for yourself, and that's what it is. I'm drinking some I'm drinking because I'm live. You gotta keep yourself hydrated, especially like with doing this podcast and stuff. It's like, yo, you gotta be in a state where you hydrated, because it's like you talking and stuff, and you could start choking and stuff, your throat be all dry. I'm this podcast is ran by me. Everything is done by me. Like everything, literally. Like I know there's some big podcast shows out there where they have other people that's like dealing with those things in terms of like the electronic stuff, like the sound and pause and stuff, delete and stuff, right? Because don't get it twisted, right? Because if there's like mad people on the show, like you got like 5 or 6 people on the show, they bound to mess up. Cause I even think about like when I be going live and stuff, right? It's just like some things you you didn't mean to say. You didn't mean to say it. You wanted to say it is. So somebody interjected when they was, I don't know. Like I feel like when you have a lot of people on it, people mess up. So they like have people that take out stuff, I guess, for the pre-recorded things, right? But as far as the live things, I mean, I'm pretty sure people take out things automatically, but it is what it is. But with saying all that, it should be like, yo, I'm not perfect. I'll be the first one to say it. I'm not perfect, and I'm not gonna get on this podcast and try to pretend to be something that I'm not, because I'm just not that. You know, um, every day I just feel like I set intentions for my day of how I want it to be, how I anticipate it to be, and definitely the things that I push myself to do, or like the assignments. Let's put it out there, like, that I have to do. Because, yeah, every Monday there is a brand new episode on Beautiful Star Podcast. I got, is the website www.beautifulstartpodcast.com. So you could go to beautifulstartpodcast.com and order the latest episodes. Everything is there, you could go there, right? Uh to listen to any episodes you wanted to listen to or be directed to it. The latest episode for Monday that I did is on there. So you could definitely go there. That episode is definitely uh a good episode. Like, there's a lot of information on there. And that's why I don't, you know, like, that's what people, like, I put out valuable information on the shows that I do, right? So every Monday there is a new episode, right? Whether I'm on YouTube or not, there's a new episode. So you could go on there every Monday. I put that information out, right? I have over 100 episodes that you could listen to that's of that's valuable. That's valuable, right? The information is out there if you really, want to change your life. If you really want to put yourself in a powerful state. Because being powerful is ultimately changing your life. That's what it's like, seeing the results. That's ultimately what it's about. Seeing the results that you want in your life. That's what's winning to me. I just feel like, you know, yeah, things aren't perfect. We're not perfect beings. But at some level, when you accept certain things that you can't change, because let's face it, right, there are things that are beyond our control, that's just going to happen, whether we want it to happen or not, right? But it was something that was beyond what we could do, like beyond our control, right? Once you get past all that, and then you get to the realm of the things that you can change, you know, that you can alter, you know, your power, right? But even outside of that, there's a lot of power that, but that's another that's a, that's another topic for another show. That's what that is, right? But ultimately, your power, like, yo, we have the power to change our lives when we want to. And it does not have to dictate, our age, right? Because a lot of times, you know, there's women out there who's over a certain age and they feel like they can't change their life, that they can't do anything, that it is what it is with them, you know, and they feel like because they've been with a certain type of man for like 50 years, then they gotta stay with that man for another 50 years, and that's just not what it is. You don't have to be in no relationship that you don't want to be in. And that's just real talk. Like, if you say to yourself, like, yo, I've been with this guy for like 40, 30 years and I'm tired of it, you know, he's not changing. He's giving me broken promises. Then it's your right. You don't gotta be with that person no more. Like, I don't know why people feel as though because they get in certain relationships with people that they bound to them for life. You ain't bound to nobody for no lifetime. You ain't, right? And no shade to nobody else, because a lot of times people, they don't want to feel like that because they feel like they letting someone else down or they not showing up for someone else. You don't owe nobody nothing, right? But you owe yourself everything. You owe yourself a lot to change your life, to do what you need to do for yourself, right? You first, you number one, right? Regardless. Like, you number one, you know? A lot of times people don't want you to understand that. Like, it's your life. How you want to live your life? You gonna allow somebody else to control your life? Because you don't want to be alone? Because you dealing with things, you know? Whatever. Like, you know, I'm not over here trying to advocate people being alone or being on a lone journey. No, that's not what I'm saying. Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying, right? Um, but what I am saying is that person who don't mean you no good, who don't want to see you growing, who don't want to see you evolving needs to go. I'm sorry. Like, you could love somebody from a distance. I don't care. You could. Right? You could support somebody from a distance. Right? But the same way you respect other people, they supposed to respect you too. They supposed to respect where you want to be at in your life. You know what I'm saying? And you should have standards in your personal life. Yes, you should. Yeah. You should, you know, in terms of judging things, judging people, like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't judge people, but then what type of woman would you be in your life if you didn't or did? That's a question. You know what I'm saying? You guys got answer in the chat if you want to, or in a comment section. It's really up to you. But like, yeah, it's your life. What do you want your life to be? You want someone else to control your life, tell you how to live, how to think, how to be, right? Because that's what these people are doing. You know, some people are entering relationships solely on the purpose of controlling another person. They want to control you. It's not even, I know it's some women out there, they not doing 50-50 no more. They you either taking care of me or not. Like I get those vibes, right? I understand that, right? But then there's other women who enter relationships who like, yeah, what you say is what you is. Like, I accept you for who you are. That's it. I accept you. You my man. What's up? You my partner. What's up? Like, you know, people enter relationships for different things, right? They like, oh, yeah, I want to be with this person. You know, I like this person. you know, whatever it is, right? Because I could sit here and do like little examples all day, right? But at the end of the day, it's just like, all right, you enter a relationship, but that person shouldn't have complete control over you after a while. Right? Because some people enter it and they be in a good feel stage, but then they allow this person to have complete control over them, or saying what they think their life should be like, or whatever it is. Some people get stuck in effed up situations. Like, it could start off good, but then this person could go, life and be abusive, right? And with abusive relationships, right? Uh, the person feel like they are in complete control of you, like you become a victim type of vibe. Like, you know, there's some people out here that's really are crazy from dealing with relationships. I'm just saying, right? However you guys want to, I don't really care about I don't care about other people's perception, like in terms of like how I feel, like in terms of relationship. Everyone has a perception of how they deal with relationships or what they feel. That's their business. But this is how I feel and what I think. you know, uh, you can say what you feel in the chat or in the comment section. That's cool. That's cool. But I just honestly feel like with this victim state of mind, like, nah, you don't need to be in a victim state of mind in a relationship. You don't have to be dependent on someone else's intellectual properties. Like, you could think for yourself. Like, you can maneuver through life for yourself, you know? Um, where we at, we could always evolve. Like, reading books, in terms of uh learning something new, right? Because you can only do what it is that you know. You can't expect someone to be the type of person that they never was. Like, that's why, with these certain relationships, people are in relationships with people that they think are a certain way, but they really not. Like, you feel me? That's crazy. Like, people be in relationships with people because of the idea of thought that they have this person to be. Like, you in this relationship with this dude because you think he this type of way. Or that's what he's projecting. That's, a lot of times, and when I think about that, right, it's just like, some people be in relationships with people because they have an idea of who they think they are, right? Based off of social media, right? With social media, anybody can be anybody. Anybody can be anybody. Like, literally. Like the little posters, right? Let's say if you have somebody who only posts the good times in their lives and the times when they were having like the most fun, right? You see somebody who posting pictures of them being in a club or in a lounge or like dancing, having a good time, only in a social capacity. Like, they just so being so social. And that's the only thing that they post on new social gathering things, right? So in your mind, you probably like, oh, this person is mad sociable. They out there. They have an amazing life. Whatever. I don't know. Would be people people mind, like, but I'm just saying, if you project that, like, you put that out there, and you only put those type of posts on your social media, right? Some loony might be like, yeah, this is what it is. You feel me? Because of the idea, because there's some people out there that just post everything. They gonna post whether they feel good, whether they don't feel good. They gonna post everything. That's just what it is. Versus somebody who's not. They just gonna post good things. Like, oh, I just got married. Oh, I just graduated, got my PhD. Like stuff like that. Like just posting the good stuff. Oh, like I just got through this milestone, whatever. They're gonna post positive things. Oh, I just made a pot roast. It was so pretty. They're just gonna post anything that's positive that they find interesting, right? So that's what they're gonna post. They're not gonna post the negative things that happens, right? Because you know, regardless of all the positive things that you see, online, like, yes, it's stuff globally happening. Like, even within my city, like, things have ultimately changed. Like, as you get older, like, I'm 40 years old, I'm always going to be like, yeah, I'm 40, yeah. Some people just feel so ashamed of getting older. It's just like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, it's just crazy, like how people like to, uh, anything that's natural, I would say, like, people like to shun, like, within a society. And it's just absolutely crazy, like, how some people just, it's something that's natural, right? I feel good. Like, when I woke up this morning, I felt amazing. Um, yeah, I'm going through something. Yeah, I'm, a bit like under the weather, but I definitely felt good. I was like, let me do this live and sit down for a minute, because ultimately, you guys, like, I'm not on a camera or anything like that, but I just, I wanted to get up and do a live and just be very transparent in terms of, from this idea of like being a victim, right? Because some people feel like they got to be a victim because of all the things that have happened, right? Because some things are just uncircumstances. Like, some things just happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, do you hold on to it? You know, like, I had my whole week planned and things just didn't work out the way I wanted it to work out. But I had to work with what it was for that time. Like, you feel me? Like, yes, like, I'm a advocate for definitely having a plan and doing what it is that you have to do. That's what I'm about. I'm about, like, yo, you gotta have a plan. Things have to be in order, right? You wake up, everything has to be in order. But then sometimes when those things don't happen, you know, the way you wanted it to happen, right? When you have to go in and actually change things because everything else have shifted. And I'm okay with that. I'm good with change, right? And that's what I feel like, I had to definitely do. You know, I had to definitely adapt to what was going on, to life as it is now. It's not, me thinking about who I was, or uh, what I used to do, or what I was capable of doing, but what I'm capable of doing now, for what it is in this present moment. Like, some people get stuck in a time, stuck, in a certain energy, stuck in a mindset. I'm not going front. For a long time, I was stuck in a certain mindset while everything is just changing and morphing around me, you know. But that's nobody's fault, but people, like, anything that I've experienced, I've hold myself accountable to, in terms of what I didn't get, what I was supposed to get out of that, like, in terms of like seeing it in a certain way, you know, right? Because at the end of the day, like, you you see things for what they are on your level of where you at, right? And some people are just not there where they could just see things from a full scope, like see things from like see a bird, see things from a bird eye view, like above, like you hovering over his thing and you're not able to see it, like see everything full surface, like. But that's how people need to see it, like they need to see it like that, from that standpoint, you know. But some people ain't. They not gonna see it like that. And that's just what it is. Some people are just gonna be victims of the things that they've gone through. They just are. You know, and victims make other victims, you know. But at the end of the day, we had the power to change all that. You don't have to, you know, see things from a victim state of mind. You don't have to stay in a victim state of mind. It doesn't have to always be like, oh, this person did this to me, or I'm dealing with this. Like, you are always in a pain state. You don't have to always be in a pain state or feel like things are not going to work out for you or feel effed up. Right? Because sometimes people want to feel like, oh, they're effed up. They don't want to feel good. They just want to be in that state like, yo, I'm just not where I want to be. Right? Some people are just in that space like, yo, I don't even want to be in this space no more. But ultimately, it's like, what you want to do? Is somebody want to change it for you? I'm just saying. Will somebody change it for you? You know, when I think about life in a nutshell, right? If you're not where you want to be at in life, right, then it's ultimately up to you to change it. You have to change it, whether you feel trapped or not. That's exercising power in your life, like figuring it out, getting it done, being strategic, maneuvering, you know, right? Because some people just think, you know, oh, just things happen, right? But I feel like sometimes you have to plan. You got to make a plan for yourself, plan for your life, you know. We are, you know, some people just get into relationships and they identify with this person like this is the end or be or like, yo, this is it. You know, for me. But then when things don't work out no more, it's going to be that conflict energy. It's going to be that feeling of, I don't want to be with him. Like, he ain't shit. Like, this nigga he ain't doing nothing for me. Like, you want to start seeing things the way they are, the way they really are. Not like you in this state that, oh, okay, I'm happy he's the one. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be none of that. Like, you're gonna see things the way they are, and that's how you should see things. You should see things the way they are and the way that you want it to be. Point blank. Because everything is not perfect. People don't change all the time. People don't change. especially when they don't want to change. Like, how you gonna try to force a dude to change? You feel me? Like, you want this dude to change, but he ain't changed in the past 10 years. He ain't do nothing but give you promises. That's what a lot of a lot of people out there, they are in this realm of allowing people to promise them things. You feel me? It's not even things that you actually seen happen, right? It's just things that people are just putting out there. It's just wordplay. That's it. Wordplay. Yeah, I have to put that out there. It's wordplay. Like, some dudes out there, they just like the finesse. That's what they do. They finesse. They finesse. They not, finessing is just like they just talking. It's nothing behind it. And that's what a lot of dudes are doing. They finessing. It's no, it's nothing of substance behind it. They just saying whatever they need to say to get what they want. That's it. They don't care. Like, it is what it is. They saying whatever they need to say. And it doesn't even have to be on any substances, or it doesn't have to really be true. They just saying what they want. Uh they saying what they think other people want to hear. But at the end of the day, you have to pick that up. Like, okay, you've been with this guy for like 50 years, and 49 of the years he been playing this game with you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he been playing this game with you. Bullshit. Bullish. Let me stop cussing. I probably cuss like I probably did a lot of cussing during this live, but yeah, he probably just lied the whole time. And it is what it is. What you gonna do? Nothing. A lot of people, they not gonna do nothing. They're not gonna change anything. They not. They're not even gonna change the dude, the behavior, right? Because a lot of times, if you've been with a dude for 40 years, all right, you gonna be with him for 50 years, because you don't care to change a situation. What's the point? You've been with him already for this amount of time, so you might as well stay with him. That's what some people thought process is, and that's what they're gonna tell you. Oh, just stay. But you don't have to stay with someone because you've been with him for so many years, and this is what you've grown accustomed to, whatever. You don't have to stay in no situation that you no longer want to be in. I don't care how long it's been. And that's a fact. You don't. You don't have to be with anybody that you don't want, no longer want to be with. Okay? There's ways around getting out of situations. For real. Take your power back. Especially when you gave someone a whole bunch of chances. You've been with this person so many years. You mean to tell me you've been with this person for like 30 years and nothing changed after you brought up what this person's been doing? Nothing changed? That's crazy. That's that's absolutely, you feel me? Like if you've been in a relationship with this person for like 30 years and out of that 30 years you had so many conversations, we talking about like 50, 60 conversations with this person about them changing their actions, the type of person that they are, you feel me? Like you already had this conversation, in terms of if that's the cheating shit, right? What if you were someone who is other behaviors that they doing, right? Because it's whatever it is, what you're tolerating right now, like what it is that you ultimately are experiencing, right? Because people be tolerating some crazy ish from dudes just to say that they have a man in the household, but meanwhile this man he ain't doing nothing, right? You got dudes living in your house that ain't doing nothing. They ain't giving you no money. They just coming and going. It's just like it's just shelter for them at this point. You know what I'm saying? He ain't doing nothing. Nothing. And then it's crazy because then you have some dudes that's in the house that they ain't doing nothing, right? These dudes in your house, they ain't doing nothing, but yet they want to tell you everything to do, right? Ain't that's crazy how you can have somebody live in your house. These dudes is like they ain't giving you no money, no, and they getting bread. These dudes is getting bread, and they ain't doing nothing, nothing. Like he getting all this bread and he ain't doing shit in the household. That gotta be like the most craziest feeling though, like, right? Because it's some women out there that can never identify with that don't know what that feels like, to have somebody living with you that ain't doing nothing, nothing, nothing. There's some women out there that don't know how that feel. But then there's a lot of women out there who knows exactly how that shit feel. that's that's the craziest joint. Like I always say, like, you will pick one man and it'll be a whole bunch of women have different stories for different experiences. It is what it is. But my thing is, in your own life, how you want your life to be ran. What type of woman are you? Like, 'cause all these stories, I could come online and do a whole marathon about stories about dudes and men and all that stuff. I could do that all day long. I literally can, but it doesn't even matter. It don't matter. It's about how you want your life to be. What type of woman do you want to be, right? Do you want to be powerful in your life, or do you want to allow others to control you and be powerless? You want to be powerless in your own life and allow others to have complete control over you. That's what it's ultimately, you know, about. What it is that, you know, so that's what it's about. And as far as being powerful, I want all you guys to feel powerful out there, because ultimately you do have power in your life. You know, you can change your life. At any moment, you could say, "Oh, I don't want to be a part of this person's life no more. I don't want to be in their life no more." You have free range to do that. Um, Ultimately, you feel me? That's what you can do, right? Because you don't got to be stuck in a relationship with no deadbeat dude that ain't doing nothing. For what? Come on, make it make sense, right? You can leave a situation and you can leave. That's what it is. You can leave. Leave. You don't have to be in no situation that you don't want to be in anymore. I'm just saying. Okay. Become powerful in that situation. There's a lot of resources out here, right? Um, if you think it is, if you know it is, if you've done your research, I'm just saying, become powerful in your situation. And do what you gotta do. Okay. So I thank you so much for listening to this episode, right? I know I have been live, like it's I'm gonna try to come live more often. I'm gonna have to do that, because this was absolutely cool. But just know that when I'm not live, you could still listen to new episodes that I put up at beautifulstartpodcast.com, www.beautifulstartpodcast.com, www.beautifulstartpodcast.com. So you could definitely go there. Um, every Monday there is a new episode, so you could definitely uh, go there and listen to the new episode. So when I'm not live, right? I'm gonna try to be live every week. Um, so definitely make sure that you are a part of that. And I'm gonna while I'm on this live, I'm gonna go to it so I don't mess anything up. So every Monday there is a new episode at beautifulstartpodcast.com. So you could definitely go there on Mondays at 6 a.m. There is a new episode that is posted, so you can listen to that. And then also, I do coaching sessions. So if you are interested in having a coaching session with me, go to beautifulstartpodcast.com and also go to services and you'll see book with me. There's many different sessions that I do. I do coaching sessions, vent sessions, combined sessions, and I do colloquy sessions. So definitely sign up for that. And then also I do a group. So if you're interested in being a part of the group, is the Get Back to Me, Get Back to Life monthly group. If you're interested, definitely check that out at beautifulstartpodcast.com. And then also I do a free meditation group. It's meaningful meditation. That's what I do. It's done once a month. It's absolutely free. And if you're interested in being a part of that, right? Because I do it once a month and it's absolutely free. The session is for 30 minutes and it's a group. So if you're interested in that, sign up. You can sign up at beautifulstartpodcast.com. I thank you so much for listening to this episode, and definitely subscribe.